welcome to Danny's Vanity today, and today we're going to go over everything about the base. So today we're going to go over what I do to prepare my face for everything I'm going to do to it. So let's get to it. So first of all, we always start our makeup routine with prepping the skin. Today, since I already did my skincare, if you're interested in that, I will make another video to show you what my skincare routine is. But since I already did my skincare, so this, the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water will be my prepping and priming step. You fan it down. And now we move on to serum primer. Stila One Step Correct Skin Tone Correcting Brightening Serum. I saw this at Sephora and I was like, oh my lord, look at that. So weird. So I will take 2 pumps and just like foundations, always remember to do your neck on your primer. So after primer is put onto your skin, you always want to wait a bit of time, like 30 seconds or so that the primer will do its work. The foundation I'll be using today is from L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow drugstore. I loved it. It's a little different from Photo Focus from Wet n Wild. That one, I think, is a lot more smooth on my skin, but it gave me a very natural finish. But this will definitely give me more of a radiant finish, hence Pro Glow. So let's give it a whirl. And this is a lot more watery than Photo Focus, in my opinion. You can also put the foundation on your makeup sponges and put it on the skin. So I'm gonna take the Eco Tool, my favorite makeup sponges, and blend everything in. Blending out foundation is easy, just take a lot of time and patience. So this is the first layer of foundation done. And as you can see that the coverage pretty good, but you can still see my little sun kisses picking through the skin. If you're looking for more full coverage, you always layer it up on the area you desire. I strongly recommend against layering up on like around your eyes, nose, or chin, because in my experience, that makes your skin cake up a little more, and I don't think you like that. So I like to layer up my foundation around my areas of sun damages. So that's mainly my cheeks and on top of my nose and a little bit on my forehead. I avoid using any more foundation than that. In my previous tutorial, I did a technique where I used lighter foundation in the center of my face and then more of my skin color on the perimeter of my face to create like a soft gradient highlight effect. I found that very helpful. Foundation is done. This is the second layer. The trick of covering up imperfections like acne blemishes, acne scars, so on, is not to put on a lot of foundation and put on very heavy full coverage foundation everywhere on your face. It's more about even out your skin tone with the first layer and then go in with the second layer, either with the same foundation or of slightly more full coverage foundations and cover up the area that you need more coverage and not the entire face, so that not only you cover up the imperfections but other area of your skin doesn't look so cakey and doesn't crease as much. Or you could use spot conceal, which we'll move on next. Is concealer. So the concealer I'll be using today, I actually always like to combine two different concealer. I like to use Maybelline Age Rewind. This is one of my favorite drugstore concealer. It just magically take away my under eyes dark circle, which like there's so many things I want to get rid of on my face, and that is top of my list. And you take, there's a little sponge on top, you turn and you dab on. Normally how I like to use is that what I use as actual concealer, like for example this concealer right here, full coverage and a lot more creamy, so I actually use to conceal. Again, I like to conceal where my sun kisses are and around my nose. And I use concealer brush like so, and then I go in and blend it up. The reason I use concealer brush and not beauty blender makeup sponges is makeup sponges actually shear out the coverage, which I don't want for actual concealing. So I use concealer brush to tap on and not move the product to actually achieve concealing. And your fingers always one of the best tool to use to make sure it get under your eyes and stay on. Then next thing I'm gonna use is the actual highlighting concealer. What I'm gonna use today is Chanel highlighting face pen, and then you go in. And with this highlighting pen, you actually go a little lower than where you conceal to draw the triangle. I use highlighting concealer and actual highlighters interchangeably. Sometimes I prefer one or the other. I use highlighting concealer for more natural highlighting. And this one I'm actually going to use my beauty blender. Not beauty blender, makeup sponges. Remember not to move the highlight too much so that it actually stays where you mapped out on the face, and blend. The highlighting part is done. As you can see, it's more natural, but they still give you the coverage you want with the concealer. So I strongly recommend to separate your concealer. So use two. One is actually for concealing and the other one's for highlighting. So moving on, this is where I would normally do my cream contour and highlight if I desire to do so, but that's not consistent from one look to another, so I decided not to do that. If you want to see another video of how to contour and highlight your face, leave a comment below and I'm more than happy to do that. Okay, let's move on to setting the face. So I normally have different type of setting powder that I use. Sometimes I use a pressed powder, sometimes I use loose powder, and sometimes I even use foundations, like powder foundations and so on. But today I'm going to use Face Teller Ultra Powder Translucent. Normally what I like to do, I use a fluffy brush. So what I recommend is Sigma Large Powder or Eco 2 powder brush. This is just equally soft and fluffy, but this one has a slightly bigger head than this one right here. Oh, and there's also Emax Design smaller powder brush for under my eye. I like to use that under my eyes. I always like to take my makeup sponges And before I put on my setting powder under my eyes, I always like to press and make sure there's no more creasing. Or use my finger just to do this. And I take my powder brush. Always set your under eyes and anywhere else you put actual concealer on so it doesn't crease or cake up. So after taking this under my eyes and around my nose, I use the bigger brush. Same idea, I take this and take this and just go around my face. Remember to set everywhere that you have put concealer on, so including the perimeter of your face and your neck. Okay, so face is set. Normally that concludes my foundation routine, but if I decide to go one step further to add a little more glow to my skin, I will take this shade 102 Charming Feline from Jill Stewart, and I will use different powder brush. This step is really optional, but I like to do this so my skin has a natural glow to it without putting too much highlighter on. And there you go. That concludes all the base makeups I will do before I do any other further steps in my makeup to prep my skin so it's a perfect canvas for anything I'm going to do to it next. If you would like to see contouring and highlighting tutorials or anything of the sorts, just let me know in the comment below and I'll definitely make that happen. Okay, so this is all the base makeup done, and thank you for watching another video of mine. Please subscribe before you leave. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment below just to say hi. And I will see you in the next video.